So this has been a long week at work for me, but I'm here with my cup of tea getting me through. Nothing better than tea to help you through a long week. For this week's video, I wanted to share with you some of the things that I've made for the office, so some of the stuff that I've been wearing to work. These are some things that I have made out of some fabric that I got in France not that long ago, but I've had my eye on them and I've finally got around to making them. So sit back, grab yourself a cup of tea and enjoy as I take you on the journey that I had while sewing these projects. So I've just started redoing the Lola Coat from Sew Over It. I started doing this and I actually sewed the pockets on wrong, so I had to unpick them. But we've started again and pretty successfully. I'm just going to move on to the overlocker, which is working very nicely on this fabric, and keep it going. We'll see how far I get tonight. So it's times like this when I'm all set up and ready to sew, and what happens? This one sits in the way. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually getting really stuck and it's only the third point on here. So I'm gonna keep going, but I'm not really sure what this is gonna do. So having been looking at the screen for a long while, I have now decided to do this. This is possibly the most helpful thing I've ever done. I've actually written out which bits are what, so when she's talking about things in the instructions, I know what she means. Why I never thought to do that before, I do not know, but so helpful now. Day 2 of sewing my Lola Coat, and I had to step away from the project last night because I didn't really know what I was doing until I realised that actually I had sewn one of the panels the wrong way round. So I had two panels that were exactly the same, and so what I needed to do was see whether it would still work or show, because you've got the overlocking on the outside rather than the inside. Thankfully, I think I can get away with it, and I think when I sew it all down together, with the pocket like that, with the nice edge that I created last night, you shouldn't be able to see it. But this is the sort of thing of you just have to keep going, and hopefully you'll end up with something that doesn't have random errors all over. So I've now finished these side pockets, and you don't see the error I made because it's hidden. Thank goodness. Well done. So I've gone up to, I think, number 16 in the instructions, but I'm really tiring of doing this coat. So I'm going to stop doing this one and I'm going to switch to my ultimate trouser project for a bit. And then later on I'll probably switch back and finish it off. It is coming along well. It's quite thick, but that's fine. We will cross the finish line, I'm sure, by the end of today. After about half an hour of staring at instructions, I think I've actually managed to do the neck. This bit I don't think you actually sew down. I think what I need to do is fold it under and then just hand stitch it down so that it's nice and comfortable and sits well. But even if that's not what you're meant to do, then that's what I'm going to do. So the scariest moment was when you ended up having to cut into the fabric, because yeah, not a massive fan of doing that, just in case I got it wrong, especially when I wasn't sure. But it's getting there. Everything's coming together. I might leave the just hemming until the morning, but otherwise I'm quite impressed with how this is turning out. It's getting there, definitely. So I'm going to be starting a new project today, and this is it. So it's these Palazzo Pants, Palazzo trousers, and I'm just gonna have a read through the instructions, see what it is I need to do. I've actually already cut out all the fabric, so that's all done. I've got all of that here, ready to go. So yeah, I shall get on with that and then start sewing. Yay! So this is the first time I've actually tried to mark on with a big cross. in Taylor's chalk what is the right side and what's the wrong side, because I always forget, although this one's going to be easier, I've just realised, because we're going to have the darts. So I'll be doing it on the backs. No, this is the back. I'll be doing it on the front of the trousers, because that one is hard to tell, and I don't want to end up doing what I did last time and sewing two things that are the same without a reverse. So hopefully this is going to help that. So I'm just in the process of adding in my invisible zip into my trousers. Annoyingly, I couldn't actually find a grey one, so I'll just do, because I thought the zip wasn't too bad. There are a number of techniques I seem to have found, but this one I think is just the easiest, where you just, first of all, iron in the 1.5 centimetre seam allowance, and then you pin it along, then you tack it, and do it on this side, and then do it on the other side. And yeah, I just find this way I just have the ability to just line up the teeth with the edge. It just makes it simpler, so this is the one I'm doing and hope it works. So brilliantly, I'm quite glad I actually went back and checked this method, because I was doing it wrong. I pinned this down to both the front and the seam, and you're just supposed to do it to the seam. I've actually made it right, but there's a video that I always watch, which is Sew Over It's Lisa Comfort's vlog on how to insert a concealed zip, because for some reason it just never stays in my head, but one day it will, just not yet. So I thought it was a bit too good to be true, and I was flying through the instructions, absolutely, making speed. I was thinking, great, I'll finish this really quickly, and then lo and behold, there's always an issue. So I feel like sometimes I go mad when I'm doing these things, because if you look on the book, one second, these instructions literally say like absolutely nothing about making the trousers smaller. Like, they really don't. And then looking on the instructions, which I've laid out on my floor, this also has it's got no things on it anywhere which say like no darts, no nothing on this waistband. So why does it say in the instructions to match the notches and the large dots? Because there are no the notches and large dots. So I have a waistband that I've cut out, which perfectly fits my waist, and the trousers that I'm wearing, which are like absolutely huge at the moment. So I obviously need to like move them in somewhere. Well, where do I do that? Yeah, I'm gonna have a coffee and work out what to do next, because I have no clue when things like this happen. I think I'm just gonna try and do sort of like little folds at the front, I guess, because that would look okay. But I have no idea. So I now have my coffee, which is great. There's nothing now better than a bit of pencil and paper to work out how much spare I have on my waist compared to the waistband, and then try and work out how many folds I need and how big they need to be. We'll get there though, it's fine. Finally have a waistband with two pleats that fits the actual trousers with a bit of left over for the tab. So I'm going to sew this. I now just really hope that it fits. Oh, in fact, I'm going to just try it on and then I'll sew it, because then I'll know it fit. Good idea. So that's how I got on with my makes, and now that I've made them, I have to say I absolutely love wearing them. The coat is so cosy and warm, perfect actually on these days where in the mornings it's quite cold still. You really don't notice the area that I made on the pocket, which I'm really glad about. I barely notice it, which is nice. The fabric was probably a bit thicker. I think if I was to do it again, I'd probably choose a bit of a thinner fabric for the coat, just so that you get a bit more of a waterfall effect. But actually, like as I say, because it's warm, I don't really care about that too much. Plus I've worn it by putting a belt around the middle, and that just brings in my waist, because for me that gives me a bit more shape.
The thing that I really like is the comfort of these trousers. Because they're just really easy to wear, and they just feel really great, loose and nice. And on a warmer day, yeah, they're really lovely because they look quite smart, but actually you feel quite free when you're wearing them. I was gonna make them out of this sort of yellow silky fabric I had, but it turns out I didn't have enough. So a personal lesson that I think I learned was actually make sure that you tell the people exactly how much you need. And the reason that happened, I was in France, I was on holiday when I got the fabric, and it was being translated via my cousin to me of how much I needed, so it all got kind of lost in translation. So at some point I will have on here a yellow satin top. I'm going to do something with it, so subscribe if you want to see what I end up coming up with. But I ended up using this, which was some fabric that I also got in France. I just got 3 meters worth of this fabric, really cheap. It was like €9, and it's ended up giving me an entire pair of trousers with a ton left over. So sometimes it's great just to pick up things, and if you want to make something, just go, well, what have I got in my stash, and actually is there something else that you can find, and you can make it with that instead. But yeah, 2 really nice work items, things that I will definitely be wearing, feel really smart in them. I'm really proud to say that I made them myself. So as always, if there's anything that you want to see, just pop a comment below. If you can hear a noise in the background, that's my dog, and she's snoring, and she snores quite loudly. She's getting tired, I'm getting tired, so I'm going to end it there. Pop a comment below if you want to see anything, and subscribe to my videos, and I'll be back soon with some different stuff.